Okay. And are we doing a full show or half?
Whichever you want to do. I'm ready for both.
Okay.
Ready for both.
So have you gotten or thought about getting the vaccine?
I have.
Okay.
I have the first shot. I go back for the second one on February 5th.
Okay.
Should I not have gotten it?
No. What's today? 28.
Did you get yours?
No, hadn't even thought about it right now. Um, one because I don't really go out. Um, sorry. I may consider. I know there are other people who need it first. Um, sing. Sorry, trying to. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Good morning, everybody. You're tuning in to Community Conversations on KLK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kavila Jones, and my special guest today is Dr. Reverend Greg Ota of New Life Empowerment
Good morning.
Ministry. Hi. Good morning. How are you doing today? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you froze for a minute.
Okay. I said, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm wonderful. So today we're going to be talking about the New Life Bible College and Seminary School. So let's just start at the beginning. How did this? I know we talked about it a little bit before when you were introducing it. So now that it is, you know, ready to rock and roll, let's talk about the beginning again for those who may have missed that conversation. Um,
Okay.
how did the idea come about, and then what the process was like, and where you are now?
Okay. Well, we moved here from Indiana in 2008.
Okay.
I came as a minister. I wasn't even ordained then. So the idea was to go to school. I was in my 40s. The idea was to go to school, but I couldn't leave my secular job, which is what I was supporting my family with, to go away to school. So I had to find a school that could give me some education in what I was called to do.
Okay.
So I registered with a college in upstate New York. It's called Christian Leadership University. And they accepted me for a PhD. But the the way the courses ran too long. I would have been sick
Okay.
to get the degree I was looking for. One class alone was taking more than 3 months. So I
Oh,
went back to research and I found some other schools that could give you the material and you could self-pace yourself.
okay.
Uh, they gave me 14 weeks per class. But if I'm able to shorten them to 9 weeks, I was able to pass the class and take on the next class. So I registered with them. It was all online and correspondence. They send you what you needed to study or books you needed to read and write reports. So
Okay.
the thought came that in where I am, if there was one local, I could have went to it. There was a Memphis Theological Seminary, couldn't
Okay.
travel back and forth. And at that time, they weren't offering correspondence. So I continued with the school. And there's another school in Elkhart. This is where we moved from, with Dr. Lovelady, where I went to him and I said, I would like to start a school in Indiana, in Jonesboro, but I needed to get a degree from him because I couldn't represent him. He didn't recognize the school I was going to. So I re-registered with him and I got my education there. But the partnership never did happen. So I made inquiries with the state, what it would take to start a school here, even while I was talking to Dr. Lovelady. And they told me what I needed.
Okay.
This was in 2016 now. So in the conversation, the instruction was not changed. I got a new instruction to start a congregation.
Okay.
And that's the scariest I've ever dealt with. So stop the college, start a congregation. So I'm thinking, all right, if God says start a congregation, there's a big building somewhere that's empty, parking lot paved, I don't have to do anything but walk in and just preach. Man, we looked and looked and looked, no place. Nobody had a blank church that they were willing to give up. Nobody. So we started in a little building that could only seat 34 people.
Okay.
So we started that and we moved twice. Now we're in our own building. So now in 2020, the Lord came back, it's time to restart the school. Now remember, I had already made inquiries with the Arkansas Department of Higher Education. I had already investigated how to start a Bible college. I had actually started a website.
Okay.
But there was a lot of broken links in there because I had to abandon it and go do the church. So now in 2020, it came back that the school needs to be restarted. So we went back to the state and got the approval from state, sought for accreditation. There's several accreditation bodies. It's separate from the accreditation you have in a secular college. This one is for biblical studies and seminary. They are all in different levels. We found one that's here in Arkansas. We've met their requirements and now we're accredited and we are approved by the state. So that's
awesome.
where we are now.
That's awesome.
So the reason for all the research and the upfront information is that we didn't want to start a college fly by night. Anything we'll do, not recognized by the state or any accreditation. We just do it because we have students. That's not the way we wanted to do it. We wanted to do it with the state's approval and with accreditation with somebody that approves or looks over our shoulders in what we're doing. Because one of the biggest problems we have as men or women of God, when God calls us, we don't think we need the education.
Mm-hmm.
We start flying, we start doing all kinds of stuff. And sometimes we are doing it with no knowledge. We're ignorant of what we're supposed to know as men and women of God. That's why the school is necessary.
Okay.
So you stop me anytime because I'm telling my story and I can tell it okay. So you stop me if you have a question. So in the Bible, we heard about Saul. He was persecuting Christians. When Jesus met him on the road to Damascus, number one, he had to fast for 3 days. He didn't eat or drink for 3 days, and he was blind. Okay, what's the significance of him not eating and he's blind? He needed to understand who was calling him and why he was being called.
Okay.
We're in our 21-day fasting now, looking for directions for our lives. So when Paul got released, he went and sat under Gamaliel for 3 years, studying to know how to do this thing he's called to do. That's what the college represents. You have a call in your life, or you just want a little bit more knowledge, we want you to register with us. It's affordable. I think undergrad is like $20 per credit. In colleges, secular colleges, up to $174 per credit hour. So
Yeah. Yes, sir. I,
we're not in it to make money. We're in it to educate people so they can go do the ministry God called them to
okay.
do under
I
a
want to take a,
guided and accredited uh, environment. Go ahead.
I just want to say good morning to a few people that are watching. Ms. Linda Johnson Frazier, Letitia Fox Rochelle, Mrs. Clary
Good morning,
Scales, and
lady.
Derek Coleman. So
Amen.
thank you all for tuning in. I hope that you all know someone who would like to take some classes. We're going to go through the courses to let everyone know what's available and also the degree levels. Um, and so let's start. I'm trying to pull up the flyer. So I'm not
I have it in front of me.
okay. So let's start with the degrees offered.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, let's go right back down to basics. Certificates is you take one class. Let's say you want to learn about healing. We have a course. It's a 6 credit course that teaches you about healing.
Okay.
We'll give you a certificate, you pay and you go home. We have an associate. Now, the associate is either I don't have the money to get a full degree, or I just need a few courses to add to what I already have. So that's the next level up from certificate. Then we have a bachelor's, which requires 120 credits.
Okay.
If you want to go further, there's a master's level, but you need prerequisites from bachelor's. Now we can also accept some credits to some extent of classes you've taken somewhere else.
Okay.
We will accept it. We'll charge you. I don't remember what the cost is. I'm not clear on that one, but it's not $20 an hour. We'll give you some credit towards what you've done in the past,
Okay.
and we issue you a bachelor's. Then on there, to go to master's, there are some prerequisites that you must go through to take the master's level class. After master's level, and there's a dissertation in the master's also. You need to tell us in your own language what you've studied.
Okay.
Then there's the doctorate. The doctorate is where it's mostly self-study. It's mostly, how do I put this? It's a combination of book reports and your own thoughts about the books you read with references. We issue you a doctorate. That means you are a specialist on the thing you wrote about. You read, researched, wrote about, and put references to. A lot of people, I haven't done mine, a lot of people publish their dissertation as a book.
Okay.
Amen. So those are the 5 uh, degrees we give: associate, no, certificate, associate, bachelor's, master's, and doctorate.
Okay. And so
Now, you're
then,
going to ask me, go ahead.
I want to ask when you said that there the there's a possibility for transfer of credits from another institution. Does that
Mhm.
institution have to be accredited as well
Yep.
before you will? Okay.
Yep. Okay. So, like, we are accredited by Accrediting Commission International. They're based out of BB. They have about 250, a little more, colleges that is in this organization. We're one of them. So the first rule of thumb is you accept credits from this other 249.
Okay.
Now, if it's outside the accreditation, we might take it depending on what our investigation brings back.
Okay.
Well, if it's a paper mill thing, we will not accept it.
Okay.
So if even though the university or the college you got your courses from might not be in the accreditation body, we might consider it if we could verify some things.
Okay.
We also, just so you know, there are people who are in ministry. My first doctorate, I had maybe about 36 credits granted me because of the length of time I had been in ministry.
Okay.
And one of the things they had me do, and I'm sharing it now, is they needed to see every Bible study I taught. If I had a transcript, every sermon I preached, they needed to see it. And they evaluated it and gave me a set number of credits. And that excluded me from some basic classes that I should have taken. So now that I had all this proof of Bible study and preaching and this, that, and the other, they gave me credits for those and an exemption from those particular classes. We could do the same thing for other people.
That's what I was going to ask. If someone is going to register for classes at any level or any degree level, and they can show proof, written documentation of the things they've done while they've been in ministry, would you take that into consideration? Um,
Yeah, we would.
okay.
The idea is to educate people to do ministry properly. We're not so strict. You must take every class. You must do this. You must do this. There are some parameters that must be met for us to issue a degree. Now, you understand now when you issue a degree, your own reputation is on the line. The college's reputation is on the line.
Okay.
You don't want to issue degrees and people out there acting fools. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Saying things the Bible didn't say and all that stuff. We want to make sure of that while we are guided by the accreditation that we also have our individual reputation to keep.
Okay. Now, under these programs, I want to look at the programs. There are 4 listed on the flyer.
Mhm.
And so, under those programs on the website, is there a breakdown like of more specific topics under each one of those programs?
Yes, we are currently working on the website to how to fine tune the information on there so people don't get confused.
Okay.
So yes, we're working on. Okay, let me, if you don't mind, I could dive into it. Biblical theology, Genesis to Revelation.
Okay.
Theology is the study of God. Okay, ministry is the doing of what you learned from the Bible.
Okay.
Education, religious education, is the ability to educate others to do ministry. Biblical counseling is where you learn from the Bible on how to help people with their everyday problems biblically.
Okay. And
Simple
then,
enough?
yes, and like, are there other specific courses under those headings? Like, someone may want to be a
Mhm.
marriage counselor, someone want to do family counseling. So, are there specifics under each one of those programs that someone can take, or is it just one main program? Like,
Well,
does each program come with its own set of courses you must take, or
well,
can you kind of pick and choose?
in the bachelor's degree, there's we require 120 credit hours, okay?
Okay.
So for biblical theology, you have to have the 120 credit hours. There are several courses that
Okay.
is required under theology. And you have electives. You could pick a class in ministry, you could pick a class in religious education to make up your 120. Now, where the difference is when you go to your master's degree. There are specific classes that is needed for biblical theology master's program that is not required in ministry. So the ministry master's program, they cross over in a few classes, but
Okay.
there are specialty classes you must take if you want to do a master's degree in ministry. If you want a master's degree in religious education and biblical counseling, you drill a little deeper than the bachelor.
So, do you have advisors on board for those that want to take
Yes,
one of the degree programs?
yes.
They want to go after one of those degrees, and they want to make
Mhm.
sure they're getting the right courses, for
Right.
their specific needs or areas of interest. Do you have advisors or counselors who can help
I do.
someone put together a schedule
I
of
do.
courses?
I do. I'm not the specialist in it, but I have Dr. Brown. He's the specialist in biblical counseling. So
Okay.
if you wanted to go into that field, you can access his information, call him, write him, do whatever. He will tell you what that particular discipline is about, so you can
Okay.
make a decision. I have myself in biblical theology and religious education. I also have Dr. Omenachi in Iowa. He's going to be teaching the world religion for me. Dr. Omenachi was in the seminary to be a Catholic priest. He ended up graduating with psychology and teaching world religion. So he understands ministry and religious education. He's there. I have Julius Edda, Dr. Edda. He's in, he's a a degree and certified chaplain,
Okay.
and he's also a pastor. So he can help in the area of ministry as well. So just to name a few that are
Okay.
with us.
All right. We're coming up on a break here soon, so I don't want to get too deep into another topic.
Mhm.
But we just want to let everyone know that the New Life Bible College and Seminary, for that registration begins on February 2nd. So I'm guessing the website already available, or is
The
it
website is under construction. I can see it, you can,
okay?
because our webmaster, as a matter of fact, while I was talking to you, he sent a text. Do I have time at 2 o'clock? He needs to show me a few more things he's working on. So
Oh,
I'm going to accept that and talk to him at 2. Yes.
all right. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back and we'll continue our discussion, and then we'll talk about some community things as we have time. So we'll be right back after these announcements. Lord. Okay, so we're still on Facebook. Um, Lord, we're still on Facebook if I don't stop clicking things. Okay.
Do I need to
So
come over there and help
I'm gonna have to get a dual monitor attached to my computer, another monitor. Um,
you? Okay.
anyway, so have you had quite a few people express interest and are ready to sign up?
Actually, yes. We have, hmm, in my own church, I know I have 2 or 3,
Okay.
and we we partnered with Fisher Street Project with Bishop Lloyd. We are also going to represent the college for that church and those that are associated with that.
Okay.
So we don't teach slanted to Baptist or Kojic or anything. We just teach the Bible. But they have, I don't know how many. It's international, so there's a lot of people who are interested. A lot of people. I don't know their names. I know
Okay.
there's a lot of people. Some in Nigeria by me, some in Elkhart, some here that are interested. They just raring to go. We have
Alrighty.
one student in Georgia who's waiting for the site to open so they can join.
Is there an age limit to register for classes?
No,
Um,
you can't be 8.
oh, well,
You have to be at least 12 like Jesus, so you can connect to what we're trying to do. High school diploma is necessary. All right.
is it
That's so you can
16?
come. Yeah.
Okay.
That's so
In
you
your
can come.
experience,
So just so you can comprehend what we're doing.
I'm have you in your experience as a minister, have you encountered anyone under 18 that was in the ministry that was in ministry?
No, I've only seen it on TV. I've only seen it on TV.
Do you feel, and this is personal opinion, do you feel that I don't say teenagers, but someone, say if they are under 18, would they be really ready for the ministry? Would you advise them to seek more, counseling, education, things of that nature? And we have 30
Yeah.
seconds before we go
It
back
doesn't
on air.
matter. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how anointed you are. You need some education. Hosea 4:6 says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." I'm gonna give you two examples personally. Number one, Jesus was 12 when we saw him in the temple.
Okay.
He didn't come into ministry till he was 30. What was he
Okay.
doing for 18 years?
Um,
Paul was called. He
I'm
disappeared
sorry.
for 3 years. Where did he go? Okay.
Okay. Sorry. Welcome back to Community
That's all
Conversations
right.
on KLEK 102.5 FM. I'm your host, Kabila Jones, with my special guest, Dr. Reverend Greg Ota. We are discussing the New Life Bible College and Seminary. Sorry, we're having a discussion off air. And so I want to ask this question while we're on air. We talked about the programs you will be offering, and the degree levels. And so I asked off air, is there age requirement, or what is the age level that you are accepting students?
16 and above.
16. Okay. Um, and then with those that are in that age bracket that are, fairly young, do you have any prerequisites? Do they have to show any? Well, one, of course, they probably have to be a member of a church somewhere under somebody's ministry. Um,
Somebody has to recommend them for us to
okay.
even consider them.
Okay.
So in our application process, there's a recommendation from a pastor. So if you're not in the church, we're going to have a hard time admitting you. You need a spiritual head.
Okay.
Okay.
And that
So
applies to anybody.
yes, yes. There's got to be some affiliation. God didn't create disorder. He said, orderly God. He said, honor your father and your mother till your days might be long enough. Not only in the world, but in the ministry. You need a spiritual father.
Okay.
You just can't go do what you want to do because you feel like doing it. No, somebody's got to be over you. Somebody's got to be over you. I don't care how talented or how gifted you are. Jesus could have been born by Mary with no father, but God needed a father in the house. Uh-huh. So it's the
Okay.
same thing he requires in ministry. Just can't go fly on your own. I'm a self-made man. There's nothing like that.
Okay. Now, when someone registers or
Mm-hmm.
expresses interest in registering for your classes, for your courses, do you have I don't know, a conversation with them beforehand to see if your school is a good fit for them
I
before
hope
they
so.
actually before
I
they
hope
actually
so.
pay money?
So
Okay. Go
before
ahead.
they actually pay money and find out that this is not the place or this is not the right thing to be doing at this time, we'll have conversations with that.
Okay.
The application process is vetted. I mean, you apply, you do it online, and there's an application fee that's non-refundable
Okay.
because somebody has to handle it. That's the only reason. Somebody has to handle it. Somebody has to put it away. Somebody has to do something with it. So when we evaluate it and you are admitted, that's when the conversation takes place before we give you admission. What's your goal? Where you from? Who's your pastor? Even though it's in the application, we will strive to have conversations with people
Okay.
before we let them in. Let them know what they're signing up for. Let them know what the expectations are. It's all over the website, but you need a personal conversation with someone before they come
Okay.
in. Let them know
Yeah.
what the expectations are. Let them know what they're going to come out with. We're going to give you a degree in the religious circle. Don't go to the Ministry of Education and say, here's my degree in theology, give me a job. No. You go to another church down the road and say, I got this degree, I can run your children's ministry, and they might give you a job. So those things need to be understood.
Okay.
Yeah, needs to be understood.
Okay. Um, Another question concerning registering attendance, things of that nature. Will it follow similar guidelines as a traditional college? You must either log in or show that you worked. What are the attendance requirements? I'm gonna just ask that.
Attendance is not as strict as it will be in a secular university.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is we'll give you the material, the course material over time. There's 9 weeks, the class. You have 9 weeks to complete the class. For a three credit unit class, you got 9 weeks for one class. So after 9 weeks, we need to evaluate where you are. If you're having problems, you need to ask for an extension. But you just can't sign up for class in 16 weeks. You haven't done anything. You haven't turned in any assignment. You haven't you haven't taken any quizzes and this, that, and the other. So yeah, there's going to be requirement. It's according to time limits. It's not going to be strictly attendance. Well, he didn't show up for class today or tomorrow. No, that's not that. It Your attendance is going to be by the assignments that are given.
Okay, I'm still here. I'm sorry. I had an interruption. So I apologize for that, sir. But go ahead and tell people the website to the college so they know where to register. And
Yes.
then, so let's give out the date again when the website will be available.
02/02/2021.
Okay.
February 2nd, 2021.
All righty. And so they will go online and all of the information about the school will be there.
As much as we could put out there. But
Oh,
I don't care if you put the whole kitchen sink on there, somebody's going to have a question. Because that's just the way the world is. Not because they're slow, but because as the world, there are some things we will not think of to put on the website. That's all I'm saying.
okay.
So no matter how much you load it, there's going to be a question. So we'll be ready on first day to answer your questions. The website, if you're ready, is
Okay.
www.nlbcs.com. That
Okay.
means New Life Bible College and Seminary.com. N as in Nancy, L as in Lima, B as in boy, C as in Charlie, S as in Sam.com.
All right. And
That's
so
that's
again,
the that's the website. www.nlbcs.com. We are
so again,
pushing
it's
for EDU.
okay. All right. So, again, for those of you that are listening, make sure you share this information with someone you know that may be interested in taking some Bible courses, or maybe just they may not know where to start. And so, have a talk with someone, one of the counselors or advisors at the school, so they can get some direction. Maybe just start with the certificate program and then
And,
work their way up from there.
and,
So,
and
can someone, if
we
they
have
want
a
to,
phone number. We have a, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, can someone start at the associate level, or do they have to work their way down from the certificate? I know they can't go straight to a master's, maybe, but can they start at the associate level or the bachelor level and work their way up, or do they have to start the certificate level and work their way?
No, depending on
Okay.
what you already have, we can admit you into a bachelor's program or even a master's program, depending on what you have, what you can prove to us that you've done. You can
Okay.
even go into the doctorate, depending on where you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, depending on where you are. You might have to do extra work than somebody
Okay.
who started at an associate or certificate and worked their way up. You might have to do some extra work because there are some basic things we need you to know.
Okay. And I'm
We
sorry, I
also have
interrupted.
a phone number.
That's what I was going to ask you. 'Cause I interrupted you before. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. 870-464-3866.
Okay.
870-464-3866.
Okay. So again,
You get a voicemail, leave a message. Someone will call you back. Probably myself, somebody who's working in the college will give you a call back.
okay.
We also have started the board of directors, and we sought some help from the ASU. We have a few professors in ASU on our uh, trustee board to help guide us to make sure we're staying within the parameters of education. Even though this is biblical, we want to stay relevant in our education system.
Okay. If someone is, say, enrolled in another program, like a as you call it, a secular college, a traditional college, can they take courses, or would you advise them to or not? Like, would they be allowed to take courses simultaneously? Say if they were going to Arkansas State and they wanted to get a degree in something in ministry, would you suggest they wait till they finish one and then do the other, or can they take courses
That would
simultaneously?
be that would be the advisable thing. But if their GPA in the secular college supports them doing extra work, will allow them. Reason why I say that in my undergraduate course, because I was self-pay and I would skip a semester to gather money to go back to school. I had to make sure my GPA was up to par so they could let me take 21 credits. They would let
Okay.
me based on my performance from the last time. So yes, if you can improve academic proficiency, why not? If you're
Okay.
sure you can handle it, why not? Who are we to stop you?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I always had to go get what do they call it? I forget what they call it. It's so many years ago. I have to go get an exemption from an advisor to be able to take 18 or 21 credits, and I will always take 21.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot.
Yeah, because I could only go to school one semester a year. I was
Okay.
self-pay and I couldn't get a loan. I couldn't do anything. So you go to one semester, pay all this money, and then the next semester you're working to make the money to go. So I'll go to school in spring only. Fall, no. I'm not working, trying to make money. So, but I had to make sure all the classes I took, I was performing above standard so I could be allowed to do it again.
Okay. Since you brought up pay, when someone decides to enroll in the Bible college, will they have to
Mhm.
pay the balance up front, or do you allow a payment
No,
plan? Okay.
no. If they have it to pay, we'll take it.
Okay.
But the minimum is your application fee. I think it's $50. And then if you can't pay all your fees, we require you to come up with, I think it's $200, and the rest we can break up in payments for you. If you can prove you can pay all your fees.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't make
But then,
finance the main issue, but the machinery that puts out is going to be mainly online.
okay.
All these people who are doing this, we're going to give them, even if it's an honorarium, because we don't have money to pay people salaries. So we need something from somebody who's serious about this, so we
Okay.
can keep the machinery in place to educate other people. So money is not the main issue; it's education.
Okay. And so someone, I need to ask this: are the courses one at a time? Like there's a school that I'm going to now, and the courses are 8 weeks long. It's 5 courses in the program,
Mhm.
but they're one at a time. Versus some other schools that let you take, well, you have to take, like you said, 18 to 21 hours, and you're taking all those courses in one semester. So,
Mhm.
how is the Bible college set up as far as the? Um,
Each class, you have 9 weeks.
okay,
You do one class at a time.
okay,
Only in some circumstances we will let you take two, because then there's a rush. You won't learn the lesson properly. Now,
mm,
your maximum is 9 weeks per class. Okay? Then you go to
okay,
the next one. If you finish your class satisfactorily in 4 weeks, you can go to the next class.
okay,
The idea is to make sure that what you're doing, you understand what you're doing before you go to the next thing. So sometimes
okay,
mixing classes in this type of situation can confuse people.
okay. Um, with the
Now,
courses, oh, go
God
ahead.
is not in a rush. God is not in a rush. God is not in a rush. We don't want to rush through your degree where you come out with a piece of paper but you don't know anything. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to us either.
Okay. Um, with the exams, and I know again, a lot of this information will be on the website, and then once someone
Mhm.
decides to register, they can find out more details. But with the exams, will they be all written? Will there be some oral exams? Because different people learn and express their knowledge in different ways. So, will there be a combination of ways people can do the lessons?
Well, we're going to leave those to the instructors and the professors,
Okay.
whatever they require. Uh, what we do is try to put the machinery in place for them to be able to do that with each student.
Okay.
But
Okay. So,
because of the COVID, we're not going to be meeting physically. There's going to be some video lectures and on and on and on. Each instructor is going to decide how they want to do it. We'll tell them what we have to offer. If you want to talk to your students, you can. We'll try to create a platform for that. If not, it's quizzes and exams right online.
okay.
They get graded online and on and on.
Alrighty. So who developed the curriculum, or was it? Were you able to obtain a curriculum from another, from either
Yes.
the accreditation source?
No, not from the accreditation. Somebody else who was doing it before us.
Okay.
We borrowed their curriculum. We took out the things we didn't want in the curriculum, enhanced some things, added some things, changed some things around. You always have to have a template. But see, the educational system they wasn't come up within one day. What you see now at ASU and Arkansas, University of Arkansas, and all that, it wasn't come up in one day. It was let's do this, and then we add this to it, and somebody else did something else. Let's add that one. So that's how these things are done.
Okay.
Based on my experience, having been to get my first doctorate, I went to 3 different colleges, and they all do it differently. So we took
Okay.
the things we liked from all these places and combined them. That's where we are.
Okay. Alrighty. So again, New Life Bible College and Seminary. Registration begins February 2nd, 2021,
Mhm.
and the website
Yeah.
is www.nlbcs.com. So on
Mhm.
February 2nd, go register. Will there be a page with like FAQs, or just questions, or
Well,
things that
yeah,
people may
but
ask?
I don't think we've talked. I don't think we've talked about this, but now since you brought it up, when I meet with the webmaster, we'll talk about that this afternoon.
Okay. um, and
Some
then
of
will
the
there
things
be?
we're not going to have everything out there on the
I
first day.
understand.
Some things are in progress. It's a move. It's a lot of moving parts on this thing. There's a lot of moving parts. I don't even have my arms around it. completely. So, but it's an effort. See, if it's a brick and mortar, we're done. I'm ready to go. We're ready to go.
Okay.
But it's not because of the COVID. Most things got to be done either by correspondence or online. Online
o-
is the cheapest way to go. There's no mailing
Okay.
back and forth and all this other stuff. You pay, you go online. If you have internet, you go to your classes and on and on and on. So we chose to
Okay.
do it this way. Yeah.
Okay.
When the COVID goes away, uh, once in a while there'll be a lecture and people can
Okay.
physically gather for a particular class.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I am.
Graduation, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. We got
No
about.
graduation, we're going to try to have, I'm sure we're not going to have any graduation just yet because we're just starting. But if we do, we'd like to have, even if it's a small one physically somewhere.
Okay.
And mhm, it's an important event when someone finishes what they signed up to do.
Yes,
To receive
indeed.
the
I can attest to that. But we're coming up on another break, so we're going to take a pause.
degree.
For those of you listening on air, you were speaking with Reverend Dr. Greg Ota, the minister, founder of New Life Empowerment Ministries, and now going to be starting. Now is starting New Life Bible College and Seminary. So, in case you missed any information, you can go back and watch this video on the Kaylee K Facebook page. But we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back after these announcements. Come on. Okay, sorry. Earlier when I had to get off, well, blackout, the maintenance people came by to change my filter of all the time. Okay, it's okay.
I think they
So
knocked
that,
on my door.
sir.
I think they knocked on my door.
Okay, you're down at the lab.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, they probably did. Okay,
But I
but
didn't
yeah,
answer because I have you.
well, life happens, so we just roll with it. So, are you getting excited? I never asked what role you're playing. I'm aside for I know the founder, but will you have any hands-on duties?
I have to. I have to teach all the biblical theology classes.
Okay.
Yeah, even the ministry classes. We have the lessons already.
Okay.
All the lessons are ready.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Brandon is working with me on putting them online securely. So people, if you pay for a class, if you're approved for a class, you can go access the class.
Okay.
You can access the whole course, and then
And
you ask questions. And you have 9 weeks to finish.
that's what I was trying to get my thoughts together on that. Like with some programs with any college, depending on the length of the course, like mine are 8 weeks, we can access week by week, the portal, let's just say the week 2, 3, and whatever, you can look at it, but you
Right.
can't submit any work until you finish the previous work. Oh,
The
sorry.
previous one. Okay.
So
Yeah.
will people have access to all the lessons 1 through 9, or will they have to do them in order
Well,
before they can?
that's a conversation at 2 o'clock today with Brandon.
Oh, okay.
He has one of the lessons as an example. So let me see what he does with it, and then I can ask the questions and take it from there. We're running out of time, though. Running out of
Okay.
time, but I'm not panicking. Yeah,
Okay.
not panicking. If on the
Alrighty.
2nd of February everything is not where it's supposed to be, we'll we'll do what we can on the second, and then yeah.
So will you do some kind of live or just a video kind of showing a walkthrough of the website, just like an announcement launch or something like that?
Somebody sent me. Uh, a press release or something. I'm not very
Mhm.
good at things like that.
Okay.
So I need all the help I can get. Whoever wants to do it, I'll let you.
Well, I'll see where I can
My job is to
now.
make yeah,
Now that I
my
have
job
a,
is to make sure I'm offering quality product. If anybody else knows how to do something, help me.
we
I
got
will
five
even
seconds.
pay. Help me. Okay.
All right, welcome back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. Again, I'm your host, Kavila Jones, with my special guest, Reverend Dr. Greg Ota. We have been talking about the New Life Bible College and Seminary that will be starting, accepting students very soon. Registration begins February 2nd, 2021. The website is www.nlbcs.com. And there's also a phone number. So I want to put the phone number in the Facebook Live feed. So please give me that phone number again.
870
Mm-hmm.
464 464
Mm-hmm.
3866 3866.
Okay. All right. So call that number or go to the website, and the information is in the Facebook Live feed. So go to the KLEK Facebook page and find this video, and you can find that information and give Reverend Oak. Well, I'm gonna say give Reverend Oaks a call. Give the college a call. Someone will answer or leave a voicemail if no one answers when you call, and they will get back with you at their convenience to answer, to hopefully answer your questions. Again, this is a new, everything's going to be brand new. And so there's going to be some learning curves along the way, as with
Yep.
anything that's brand new.
Mhm, mhm. That's exactly right. So if we say anything differently, we'll be lying to you and ourselves. Like everything is perfect when you know, no, that's life. It's got hills and valleys. We're gonna get through it though. Mm.
And I'm sure a year from now, when we come back, there will be some additions or revisions made to the courses or the
There's
outline
all
of.
there's a wise saying somebody says you ask them how they're doing, they say making adjustments. So whatever you're doing, you need to have a screwdriver in hand to make adjustments.
Okay.
Sometimes you're going too fast or too slow. You need to make adjustments. Every day is different. There's a new challenge every day. The Bible tells us that anyway. Don't worry
Okay.
about tomorrow, for today has enough trouble of its own. Just worry about getting through today.
Okay.
So you can adjust backwards tomorrow.
Okay. So, do you have a board of directors that will be
Yeah.
working closely with you to monitor how
Yeah,
things are
that's the board
going?
of trustees I told you about.
Trustees.
We've got
Okay.
a couple of professors from ESU and people that not in college, people in ministry, constituted the board to be looking over our shoulder, other than the accreditation body and the state. So we have three bodies looking in on what we're doing. The reason for that is for accountability. Because if you're not accredited, you do whatever you want. The state don't know about you, do whatever you want. You can print degrees and hand them out to people. But if you have a board of trustees, they look over what you do, what the criteria is for degrees, you have some validity. That's what we're
Okay.
trying to do. Not trying to do this thing in a vacuum. Let's just go create our own Bible college and just give people degrees however we want it. No, we have a
No.
board of trustees who look over what we do. The board, the accreditation. They come to visit physically to see what you're doing and see your records as well. The
Okay.
state, I don't know if they come or not, but they have an eye on what you're doing because they give you a letter and say, hey, we're giving you permission to do this. So that means they're also watching.
And so I'm sure you have to submit reports to them at
I'm
certain
sure they haven't
intervals.
asked for it yet, but I'm sure they will.
Oh, I'm sure they will ask for reports along
I'm
the
sure
way.
they will ask for report. But
Um,
we're trying to do this thing the proper way so that we're accountable to the students who come and we're accountable to bodies higher than we are.
okay. All right. Miss Linda Johnson Frazier says Reverend Dr. Greg Oda, I love the way you explain everything. You do have a way of breaking it all down so even I can understand.
Thank you, Miss Linda. She's my friend. She's biased.
But you
Thank
do
you.
break things down. For those that don't know, I call Reverend Ota our resident minister at the radio station because of you do the Bible study. So you are a resident minister, and we have had many conversations,
Yeah.
spiritual conversations, and you do break things down. You offer that balance of hard and soft when it comes to like a father figure. Like, I'm gonna give you this lesson softly, but I need you to get it at the same time. So,
That's the way I learn. I appreciate the compliment. That's the way I learn. That's the way I learn. I don't learn by making assumptions. I don't teach by making assumptions. So from I teach from my own questions, if that
mm,
makes sense to you.
okay.
So if I was asking you a question, I need you to meet me where I am and take me where you need me to be. Don't talk to me as if I already know. No, I don't like that. So I try
Okay.
not to do that to people. I'm not very smart, so I need a lot of I need a lot of help. So I assume everybody needs some help too. That's a safe assumption I make, and I survive by it. Don't make assumptions that people know they don't.
Okay. Miss Linda
And don't make
says,
assumptions they don't know anything and start talking as if that's another mistake.
yes, sir. Miss Linda says he keeps you engaged and makes you think on your own level. That he does for sure. So yes.
God bless you,
You
Linda. You're
all right,
making
so
me
we
blush, black
we
as
have
I am.
we have less than a minute left. Any final words?
Education is important in anything we want to do. You want to know about God? Go let somebody teach you something you didn't think about. Like that Miss Linda said and Miss Kuvila said. Go cause somebody to make you think differently. That's what helps us. This brain here, we're using less than 10% of the capacity. If we can engage the neurons in this thing, we'll go very far in life. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, thank you, Reverend Dr. Oda. Thank you, everyone, for checking in.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
Thank you, everyone who's watching our live feed and who has been engaged. We are your community radio station. We're here for you. We could not do this without you. So thank you for everyone for all of your support, no matter what level you've shown it. So have a great and blessed day. All right. Thank you, Reverend
God bless you.
Ota. So
Thank
don't
you
go anywhere.
for having me.
I'm trying to
Oh,
turn off. Need to stop the live feeds. Thank everyone for watching our Facebook Live. If you missed anything, go back and watch the beginning of the video. Have a great day.